I've got a question here from Lily, and the question goes like this. Hi, Mitch. I'm your new subscriber. Thanks so much, Lily. I appreciate you. I wonder if you could make a video about how you realized your true nature. Was it because of meditation or some kind of suffering? Well, yes, both. If we haven't realized our true nature, then we are suffering. Now, there's different levels of suffering, you could say, different degrees of suffering. And at the start of my life, the suffering was more intense, you could say. And I noticed that the suffering was actually decreasing while simultaneously I was becoming more and more meditative. But if you ask me if I was a meditator or if I was meditating 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would have said no. And if you ask me if I am a meditator or if I'm meditating now, I say no. I was just simply aware. I was simply present. I was more mindful of my thoughts, my feelings, my actions, the environment. Everything that you experience, I was just more mindful of. And I wasn't familiar with this term mindfulness or practiced it, but really I could see that's what it is this mindfulness, this present moment awareness. But it was very natural for me. I enjoyed exercising, walking, hiking, camping, being out in nature. And I was very aware of the body. I really liked moving the body and really just being out in nature. And this mindfulness, this awareness just continued to grow and grow. I could feel it just getting bigger and bigger, just being more evident. And this just continued throughout my life. And I would just notice that I was more and more present than other people that I was talking to. And I could just see that I was very content with life as this awareness kept on growing. There was really no desire for getting things in the future, and there was no really riding this emotional roller coaster of life, experiencing the highs, the ups and the downs. It was very neutral. And that awareness kept on growing more and more. And it was about 3 years ago when I became extremely meditative. The mind became very still and silent. Now, for a good chunk of my life, the mind was very peaceful. And I would notice that there was these large gaps, like when I would be running or camping or just going for walks or washing dishes or cutting the grass or doing yard work, that there was these long gaps where who I thought I was not there. And there was just this feeling of what people call like the flow state or being in the zone. That was like my experience, was being in this flow state, being in the zone a lot of the time. I noticed it when I was an entrepreneur building businesses, that I was just in this flow state, that life was just spontaneously happening. And I was witnessing it. I was witnessing it all unfold. And about 3 years ago, the mind just became so still and silent. And one day this question just kind of arose. And the question was, what is aware? And that's when I realized my true nature. So if that's what you're asking, how I realize my true nature, and maybe you're looking for a type of practice or method, that question, which just actually for myself just arose naturally. But that question is really, it's self-inquiry. Who am I, or what is aware? These type of questions, what they do is they turn attention back onto its source, where awareness becomes aware of itself. And it was like there was enough foundation, enough stillness of mind, or no mind, which is a good way to put it, that the attention turns back onto its source and realizes itself, self-realization. And this is a good practice. This is a practice that I do share a lot on the channel. This is what I do in Satsangs, is really is help by facilitating self-inquiry. And there's a transmission now that essentially stills the mind. It's like it kind of puts the mind to the side and there's no mind, where this is becoming very easy for one to turn attention onto its source and realize one's true nature. So the practice, if you're asking, it's self-inquiry. There was that, what you can call mindfulness or present moment awareness. But like I said, is all of these things were just natural. This is coming from someone who never heard of spirituality, enlightenment, self-realization until after enlightenment. There was no interest in it, no knowing about it. None of that. Everything was just more of a natural unfolding process. So thanks for the great question, and I'll see you in the next one.